That was incredible. I'm gonna cry from being so gagged. I was gonna DNF this book yesterday. Oh, there I said it. Piers, come to the front right now. Hi guys, it's Anya. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the first reading vlog of 2026, I think. I did not plan to film right now, but I was like, why the fuck not? Because this idea has been brewing in my head for a couple of days. So I was like, might as well do it now. I will be reading or binge reading the Red Rising series in this video. Now, to be entirely honest, I already read Red Rising. The reason I'm doing this video is because I have been in an incredible book slump for maybe 6 months. Like, yeah, I would say 6 months. Which, if you do book content online, not really ideal, is it? I would say it was different to other reading slumps I've had before, like book slumps, because I was reading. I mean, I always read during a book slump, just not as much, and I wasn't enjoying it as much, and like it wasn't. Here's how I define a book slump for me. Like, I am the type of person, I will read every single day, pretty much every single day. If I'm in a reading slump, it would be every other day, maybe still every day, but it would only be like just before bed, like a couple of pages before bed, and then I fall asleep, because that's just kind of how I grew up, you know? That was always my routine. When we were little, we would read and then we would go to sleep. For me, it classifies as a reading slump because I'm not going out of my way during the day to read, and I'm not like excited about reading in the same kind of way. I'm just doing it to fall asleep. Whenever I was reading a really good book, I was like, I'm out of my reading slump, and I would come on here and I'd be like, guys, I think I'm out of my reading slump. And then I would read a book that was kind of mediocre and I was like, never mind. But Red Rising really changed things for me. Reading this, oh, not only did I get excited about reading again and I was like, I can't wait to go home and read, I was also excited about making book content again. So I'm really excited and motivated for this reading vlog right now because I have all these like, not really ideas going around, but I just feel really inspired, okay? I don't need to explain myself, it's 2026. I read this, 5 stars, incredible. Then I proceeded to buy the entirety of the rest of the fucking book series. They had 4 for 3 on English books. I'm just a girl. I did get the sequel for Christmas. I'm missing the 3rd book in the series. I can't find it. It's not funny. I'll manifest it, you know what I mean? I'll manifest it over the next couple of weeks. I don't know. Hopefully I'll run into it. I also don't know how quickly we're gonna read. Like, I don't know, because I'm at my usual pace, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like sprinting. I'm not Usain Bolt when it comes to reading at the moment. But that's okay, because I'm reading for my own pleasure and enjoyment. And if this vlog takes weeks to come out, so be it. So be it. You know it's serious when a book is going on my favorite shelf. You can't see right now, but it's not funny. It's serious business, guys. Golden Sun, booktube. Let's get into it. I did not expect a time jump. Also, I haven't heard anything about the sequel, so I'm scared if this is going to be good or not. Like, I don't know. I have no way of knowing. Okay, mom's making her coffee. If you hear background noise, it's my fault. It's mom's fault. I'm this far into the book. I don't know what happened. Last time I spoke to you, I started it. It's been maybe 2 days. When I stopped to you. Yeah, the day before yesterday. So very hard to read. Like the first one, like it's very hard to get into because there's just so much lore, and like the vocabulary is so like you constantly forget who is who and what is what. And I know I said at first like it has little definitions in the beginning, but lads, I'm gonna be so honest, not once did I look at this. Not once did I look at this. I don't care. Context clues. But yeah, it was really hard to get into like the first one, but I decided to get it on my Kindle. Yeah, I caved because I figured I would just be enjoying reading a lot more, and so I read the entirety of this book on my Kindle, and that's why I read so fast as well, because it's just like way more fun to read. The second part is so good. Like, yes, it's so good. It's so good. This second book was very war heavy. I think the first one was too, but the first one, it was very like there's like a very clear concept in what situation they're kind of having a war, whereas in this one it's like they're out of the, it's kind of like if you think of Hunger Games, it's like as if they were in the arena in the first one, and then in the second one they're like more in like, it's like Mockingjay vibes, you know what I mean? They're like in the real world, that kind of a vibe, I would say. But it's really cool. There's like a lot of spaceship stuff going on, which I like. And yeah, like I think I'm gonna finish it tonight, hopefully. I do have to go to work soon, but I'm dying to read the 3rd one already. I'd say it's a bit more character heavy as well, this book, than the first one maybe. I don't know, but I really wonder where it's gonna go long term, because there's so many books. And I also saw that another one is coming out I think in June. That's so awesome. But yeah, that's my reading update for Golden Sun. I will see you guys when I finish it or when I start Morning Star, which I still haven't found IRL, but I did get it on my Kindle as well, so we can just jump right into it. What the fuck? I'm gonna cry from being so gagged. Let me reread that reveal at the end of Golden Sun of who a certain someone is. What are you talking about? Like, I'm so gagged. Like, I don't think you understand how far from my imagination this reveal is. What? And why are you texting me now, Dad? This is not the moment. My dad's just texting me gibberish while there's the biggest reveal ever. This cannot be real. Chat, is this real? The gaggification of being gagged right now. I cannot believe my eyes. I need answers. Okay, I'm gonna read and get answers. What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, I actually cannot believe it. Can I tell you guys, I feel so weird and awkward on YouTube for no reason. I've had such a blockage the last couple of weeks when it came to filming and posting, and I don't know why. The weirdest thing is I have been super consistent over on TikTok, which never happens. It's always the opposite way. YouTube is my baby. YouTube always comes first. Like, this is my shit. And then TikTok, I'm always like confused and I don't know what I'm doing. Lately, it's just been the other way around, and I don't know, guys. Let us do some reading right now. I am reading Morning Star. I am 20% in. That chapter was so incredible. I'm now 30% in. That last chapter was it was a showdown of sorts, and it was so good and so action-packed. I think like what I've noticed, I'm gonna take these off. I think what I've noticed is that in Red Rising and Golden Sun, I really found the beginning to be very slow, and then it would pick up towards like the middle / end. Morning Star, kind of similar, but also not really. Like, I think Morning Star was very, so far it's very, I would say, fast-paced. Sometimes it's not that fast-paced, but I think like generally I would say there's like a lot of things that happened already, and like we're only a third into the book. Is that how you say it? There was a lot of tension between Darrow and Severo in majority of this book so far, and I was upset. I was feeling very conflicted because Severo is my favorite character so far. Like, definitely Darrow too, but like, yeah, I love Severo. And I was really afraid that it would go down a bad way and that they wouldn't be friends anymore, but I think like they just had like their little conflict resolution, and I hope it stays this way. I hope it doesn't come up again, but I feel like it might. But I really liked that I just love their friendship. I really love their friendship a lot, and I love that they were able to have a little moment, like he cried, and that's so adorable. And I really liked the way also that Darrow kind of came back to life, and like the way his little character arc of like being a bit ruined. And when I first read like the first part of this, I was like, we will not get out of this. Like, I don't know how Darrow's gonna get out of this, but just watching him almost like just regain his confidence is so fun, and I think it's well written, and I think it's also so good to have that storyline because he was so confident and like the perfect leader for the last 2 books. Watching him have like imposter syndrome a little bit and start like to doubt himself, like that was good, and then he's just kind of like completely out of it, doesn't believe in himself, and then watching him regain that, it was really fun. And I think we're at a point in the book where he's just like back to being himself. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at, and I'm loving it. I think it's so fun, and it's so smart because it just keeps things interesting as well, because it would be very boring if we didn't have this plot. I think if he's just constantly like, I always compare characters like that where everything goes perfectly and they just always know what to do, to Michael Scofield. If he was just Michael Scofield the entire time, which don't get me wrong, I love Michael Scofield and I love that he always knows a way out, but I always compare characters like that to him. I think if it was just 6 books of him being Michael Scofield in every situation, I wouldn't like it. So it's nice. I'm gonna get back to reading. Quick reading update. I am 73% into Morning Star, and I was just thinking about how good this book is. Like, what am I gonna rate it? This might be my favorite book in the entire series so far. And then Victra said, bye Felicia. And now I'm starting to question things. Why would you... Okay. Whoa. Remember when I hated on the book for the By Felicia 2 seconds ago? Well, Rock just killed himself. Why was that such a good chapter? Him looking... Okay, Darrow looking at him and being like, I should have loved him more. full body chills. Full body chills. Why is this the best thing I've ever read? Like, I keep thinking about the fact that there's just so little romance in this book, and it's just so good, like the focus being on friendship. And oh my god, like the gaggification of being gagged, truly. Why is it so well written? I also keep thinking about like how I wish I'd read this when I was in like middle school kind of age, like around the time I read like Maze Runner, Hunger Games, those kinds of books. But I think I wouldn't have appreciated, I mean, I'm sure I would have appreciated it, but like I think I would have been a bit, I don't know, maybe craving romance a little more at that age. Who knows, honestly. But also I'm so happy that I'm reading it now at my grown age, because I think I'm appreciating it a lot more for what it is. And it's also nice to just have something that feels nostalgic, but it's kind of, it feels like it is written for adults. Like, I don't feel like I'm reading a young adult book series necessarily, because of how well written it is. It's just so good. And the balance in this book that he manages to strike between it being very like adventurous, and there's a lot of action, all these like war scenes and like all these battles, and then on the other hand there's all this character growth and developing these relationships, and kind of Daryl coming back to himself in this particular one. It's just such a hard balance to strike, but so well done, and it's just such a pleasure to read. Like, I'm truly truly enjoying this book series so much, because it's just I don't know if it's the INTJ in me, but it's just really hitting a spot in my brain where it's checking all the boxes. I look like Jesus. What's going on? I'm so gagged right now, guys. The Cassius of it all. What's going, like, okay, I need to explain. I need an explanation right now, guys. Oh, you had me. Pierce, come to the front right now. You had me. He got me good. What the fuck is going on? I thought Several was dead for real. Cassius? And okay, I was gonna make this point once I was done with the book. I'm just at the part where Several wakes up again, so I don't know. I don't have any explanation yet. But I wanted to make this point at the end. I'm making it now. What I love so much about the book is that it is so I think this is why it hits so hard for me. It reminds me of Six of Crows, in that, like, what I love about Six of Crows is that it's like about a heist, you know. And what I thought about it, why do I love heists so much? And I think the reason I love a heist so much is because you think as the reader that you're in on the plan and you're watching it all go down, but then they turn around and they're like, actually, we had this other plan all along. And every single time I fall for it, and I'm like, this is so gaggy for real, because you guys know I love when something is unpredictable, and like that's my thing with, like, especially with thrillers and stuff. If it's unpredictable, then it's good. What I love about Red Rising so much is that even though like the plot in some ways, I think these things like could have been predicted, but because he's writing them so fast paced and like it's so interesting and so suspenseful, and you're so into it that you don't even have time to think about where the story is going to go. There's literally no time to spare because of how fast paced it is. There's constantly something going on, so you're not even thinking about like what could be, you know. And so I think that's why I love it. I'm loving it so much, because it has that heist quality of like, this is our plan, this is how it actually went down, and then they're like, oh, but we had a different plan all along, and this is what happened. And it's just so gaggy, and the Several situation is the perfect example for it, because you know, I should have, yeah, oh my god, yeah, this was so good right now. The second Several died, I was like, this is no longer a 5-star book for me, because what do you mean? But then, now, this is even better. At first I was like, maybe they can get him back to life, like, I don't know, maybe there's a way. He was never dead. Genius. genius. Snake poison. Right. Poison. Mind you. Right. Cassius even brought up poison first when him and freaking Darrow had their little moment together and he gave him the whiskey and he was like, poison? Really? Genius. I am so gagged. 6% to go. I will be back probably when I finish it or if something else gaggy happens. Why am I'm so gagged that I have tears in my eyes from being so gagged right now. Oh, that is who is that? Who is that? Who? What? 9 months after the lion's reign. What? Full body chills. Full body. What the fuck? What the fuck? I don't even know what to say. What the fuck did I just read? Actually, what the fuck? Like, the last 30% were crazy, which is what I was reading today. That was just one gagification after the next. Like, Severo dying. Oh my god. First of all, when they got married, I didn't see that one coming. I was like, what? We're getting married now? And then he died, and then I was like, oh my god, of course. Like, he had his happy ending. Like, now he's dead. And then I was like, actually, he's alive. And then Darrow has a baby boy. I don't actually know if it's a son. No, it is a son. What the fuck? Okay. This whole time she had a baby? Like, what are we talking about? What's going on? And also, I need to research now. Actually, where's my phone? Oh, I was filming a TikTok vlog. I want to know like the release dates because that felt like an entire book series. And even though the ending was rushed, like if I had just read those 3 books, like it felt like a complete story, you know what I mean? So when did they come out? Okay, so okay, I'm right. So it was like an original trilogy, came out 2014 to 2016, and then the series transitioned from young adult to adult sci-fi after the first trilogy. Oh my god, I'm really struggling to say words. Okay, but that's interesting. See, because it doesn't feel that young adult to me, but I guess the next 3 books are even more adult vibes. I don't know. But that was crazy. Okay, so that was like a whole... Yeah, because it felt like a whole trilogy for sure. Although had I read that like when it came out and this was the end, I would have been kind of upset. Like it was very rushed. Like, oh, by the way, we have a child and she's now ascended and he doesn't have a hand anymore and stuff. Like, what's going on? Like, whatever. That's crazy though. That's crazy. I wish I had read Red Rising in this video as well, so you could have got my full reaction. I'm definitely gonna wait until I pick up the next book. I think Iron Gold is the next one, because that was a lot for me to digest. I need a thriller right now, but like I don't know when I'm gonna check in for Iron Gold, but until then, yeah, I think I already said all my thoughts. This was a 5-star book for sure, I think it was my favorite in the series because it was so Mockingjay it was so Mockingjay. This was so Mockingjay and so like Maze Runner when they're out of the maze, question mark. What happens in the 3rd Maze Runner? Scorch Trials and then? Why can I only remember Scorch Trials? Is that a reason for me to watch the 3rd one? Because I will. Favorite movies of all time, by the way. Why do I don't remember? Death Cure. What happens? Oh, where Newt dies. Oh yeah. God, that was really fucking crazy. Anyway, back to Red Rising. Yeah, oh my god, I'm so gagged. He really, consider me got. He really got me. I can't believe it. So what is the next part about? Actually, I might not wait that long because I'm like gagging for it. Is the next part gonna be like about his son? Oh my god. And like I wanted more of him and Cassius after the fact. And I wanted like a rewind to them plotting and stuff. But whatever, now I'm just like being annoying. Okay, I'm gonna shut up, I think. And I will see you guys when I read Iron Gold. I think that's the next one. If not, I'm gonna see you guys when I read the next one. It's been a few weeks. We're back to start Iron Gold. I am going to be entirely honest with you. I don't remember anything from this vlog. I remember everything in the books, but like this I have a feeling that this cut to this clip is probably going to be like different in style from the rest of the vlog. I keep filming this on my period, which isn't good because I always look a bit fugly. Anyway, I took a break from the Red Rising series for a few weeks and I read so many other books, which were so much fun, but the entire time I was thinking about this book series, obviously. We did finish the original trilogy, I would say like pretty much back to back. Like I read the books in a very short amount of time, but I took a break because this is like a different series in a way. Like it's not the original trilogy and it has different characters as well. I did read the back of it and it does say that Darrow is still sort of like the main character, which I kind of expected him not to be. Like I expected him to be a bit of a side character. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, so who knows? That's just like based on the blurb. But I wanted to take a proper break and digest the first 3 books as their own entity in a way because that's how they were released. I'm excited and I'm scared and I don't know if the timing is right of me reading this. Who knows? I feel like that's also important to put into the equation sometimes. So I kind of put it off for a bit, but now I'm here and I'm going to finally brave it. My cheeks are really red. Okay, I made a decaf peanut butter latte. I'm going to vlog this for my TikTok, which you guys can check out if you're sexy. I'm so scared. I'm also scared of this vlog for some reason. But I love this book series and I'm so excited for Darrow and I'm excited for new characters and just looking at the book. Oh my god, like this book series has shaped my entire reading experience the last couple of weeks so much. Like every single book I read, I compare to this book. There's always a character where I'm like, oh my god, or I go about my life. I was looking at freaking closets at IKEA today. One of them is called Pax and I was like, I should get it. What? Anyway, look at this beautiful solar system. It really just gets me going. I said that in my TikTok vlog as well because I just need everyone to know about this. Ooh, the fall of Mercury. This looks amazing. New characters, new perspectives. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Guys, I'm gonna lock in. I will see you guys when I have thoughts. I want to give you guys a quick little reading update. It's been a few days of reading this and okay, I need to give context. I've been really busy this week, so I haven't been picking up my book much. That always kind of is hard for me, like when I'm reading a book for ages and I'm not like getting to pick it up. It just makes it a little bit harder for me to then eventually pick it up and like really get into. So I'm kind of like struggling in that way. I'm about 200 pages in right now. I have to say, this is the case for all of the books in the series. It is so hard to get into the books. Maybe the first 100, 150 pages of every single book was really hard for me to get into. I don't know what it is necessarily. I think the writing style is very unique and just I'm not used to reading sci-fi, so I feel like sci-fi language is a bit different as well, and it's just like it's sometimes hard for me to get into. I think this is the perfect book to listen to on audiobook, or like this book series in general if you're big on audiobooks, because every time I do listen to it on audiobook I just feel like it's a lot more atmospheric, and I think when you read it it should be that way as well, but I don't know, I struggle with it. I think I struggle with imagining science fiction worlds sometimes. Anyway, once you get past that 150 page mark, it usually picks up. Definitely the case in this book as well. This is different because there's different POVs, so it's even harder I think to get into because you have new characters-ish. Like some of them are like side characters that we've heard of before and some of them are new, I feel like, which I didn't clock until way later in the book. I was like, oh yeah, that's that person, bruh. But I think because you're getting used to new characters and you're kind of introduced into new perspectives, that just already makes it harder to get into as well. And then on top of that, you're kind of struggling, you're kind of struggling to get into the book in the first place and like the storyline. Anyway, I feel like the storyline is becoming a little bit more clear in some perspectives right now. But I'm still not sure what the plot of the book is going to be, but I think that was similar in other books as well. It's not like I still have trust in the book, you know, but I'm honestly not enjoying it as much as the other ones so far. But again, like it could just be the fact that I haven't been getting into it that much. I definitely find myself kind of sometimes in certain POVs waiting for Darrow's POV to start again. Like I think I'm definitely more interested in that. Although Lysander's POV is also great, but I think I'm interested in those because they have characters that we already know and love, whereas the other POVs are kind of like mainly new characters, and like the side characters within those POVs are also kind of new. Whereas with Darrow and Lysander, I feel like I just want to know what Cassius is getting up to. Sorry, does that make me so bad? But yeah, that's my little update, guys. It's serious. It's been about a day, maybe 2 days since I last updated you, a little over halfway. I was gonna DNF this book yesterday. Oh, there I said it. Guys, I'm so serious, and I don't DNF books ever, which is why I didn't do it. And also because I'm filming a reading vlog. And I think like low-key, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't finish this. Here are my qualms with it. It's so hard to get into. Every time I think that I'm past the point of like, I said it before in the last clip, like every single book was like that, where it takes ages to get into. And I always think like, oh, I'm gonna get to the point where I'm into it now. And I keep thinking, oh, this is the point where I'm into it now. And then it switches POVs and I'm just taken out of it again because I don't care about some of these characters, low-key. Like, it's really hard for me. We are starting to see some of the characters kind of cross paths. Well, 2 characters so far, I think, which is great because now I'm like much more interested. But it's just a bit difficult for me with all the different POVs. Like, I'm just, I don't know. It's hard because all the characters are basically in this book going through it, and there's not as much action as like the usual books in the series. This part of the series is like multiple books, so I feel like it might just be setting up this like second series kind of a way, because the first 3 were their own thing. But oh my god, we're really going through it. And in Morning Star, yeah, Darrow was going through it too, but it was interesting. I was like, oh my god, how are we gonna get out of this one, you know? But in this case, I don't care. He's leaving his family behind, he's leaving his wife behind, and I understand him, but I also just don't really care. Like, I just don't care. I do like Pax. He's really, his son, he's really sweet. So I'm a bit like, why are you leaving him behind? I also love that we get a lot of Several because he's still my favorite character, but they're not doing shit. Like, it's just a bit boring. I did think about DNFing it yesterday, and so I was like, okay, let me read some reviews without spoilers, like Goodreads reviews. And so many people, first of all, so many people gave it 4 or 5 stars. Most people did. I'm like, fuck. Oh my god, I am the only one who hates it. But I think a lot of the people who did rate it so highly were like OG fans. And I can imagine if I was an OG fan, I read the first trilogy, and then years later I get this, I would have been over the freaking moon and I would have ate it up. But I don't think I'm appreciating it enough because I read them somewhat back to back, like in a matter of weeks. So that's one thing. And then the other is I did read some reviews that were like similar to me, where they didn't like certain POVs, but then the POVs they didn't like were the ones I liked. Like, a lot of people are so sick of Lysander. I'm like, this is so interesting. Maybe it's just because I'm getting Cassius, but no, I'm into Lysander's story. Like, it's totally interesting to me. But then we get the other characters and I'm just a bit like, boring. But now they're getting better, like the other characters, because they're becoming more intertwined. I need to like sit down and finish this because I'm so over it. I technically have to finish it today in order for this video to go up on time, but I have no idea if we can do it. I really don't know if we can do it. There's like 250 pages. I can do that. I can read 250 pages easily. Okay, I can do it. Another reason why I looked it up on Goodreads was because I was like, okay, they're gonna tell me if it gets better. And a lot of people were saying, in fairness, they were saying that it gets better at like the 60% mark, which I guess I'm like slowly approaching now. Or am I at the 60% mark? I could look it up, but I am too lazy. I reckon I am. The idea of reading these 2 makes me want to gag. Like, I don't want to read them right now. The idea of doing this is insane. But then I'm also like, I have trust in the series because so far every single book was a 5-star, and it quickly became one of my favorite book series of all time. The original trilogy, that is. So I'm like, I still have hope, but I'm really holding on for dear life. And this is just, yeah, I don't want to comment on it. I'm really low energy when it comes to reading this book. I need to just finish it. And I've gone days without reading as well, like where I was like, I don't want to pick it up. Oh, I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling. It just makes me think of like, I'm going to be in a slump and I don't want to be in a book slump. Okay, anyway, sorry, I just word vomited all over the place. I'm going to read this now. I'm at part 3 now. We just had a little bit of a heist of sorts, quite frankly, which I've been waiting for. That's literally what I read these books for the fucking heists, man. Yeah, that was incredible. Really good. Does it compare to the other ones? Not really. I'm just lacking a bit of gaggery. Like, I'm not... The things that are happening are so organic, and the way characters are finding their way to one another makes so much sense. It's totally satisfying and well written. It's just not that exciting to me, if that makes sense, but I do feel like it's getting better. It's getting better. Let's see if part 3 holds up. I hope so. Okay. Look insane. I look like I just came back from battle because that's how I feel. I just finished this 2 seconds ago. 2 seconds ago. And boy, do I feel frustrated right now. This was a hard read for me, guys. Truly difficult. The reason this is so frustrating is because it's not like I can just say I didn't like the book and be done with it. It's frustrating because we're following Darrow in this era of life where it's like, once again, the first trilogy was a coming of age story. It's as though he's once again coming of age in a way. The first 3 books are so interesting to me because they're about his sort of relationship with becoming a leader and all the trials and tribulations that come with it. And it's so interesting because the concept of leadership is so interesting to me. It is so different though, because Darrow is already a well-established leader, but it's this thing of like, oh, he led this huge rising. Now it's time to rest. But then we come back to the story in this new trilogy, or it's not really a trilogy, there's more books going to come, I think. Anyway, but he's not able to rest, you know? He's now back to it. There's no rest for the wicked. It is so frustrating because all the choices he makes as a reader, you're like, no, don't do it. Like him picking the rising over his wife and his family. It's frustrating because obviously you don't want him to do that, but if you know anything about Darrow, it makes perfect sense. Like the choices he's making make perfect sense. That's what's so frustrating about it. And it's right, because like he too is frustrated. Every damn character in this book is frustrated. So you as a reader are left feeling a little bit frustrated. I feel so crazy scientist right now, guys. This shit annoyed the fuck out of me. And him, oh my god. He makes so much sense to me as a character and I hate it. He's in a bit of a pickle, guys. So the entire Darrow storyline, which is only part of it, it was so frustrating but made just so much sense. He's finally back. Like the very last bit, he's like, okay, I'm back to being the Reaper. It was very reminiscent to me of Morningstar because it's a somewhat similar arc he's going through, but you can also just like not quite compare it. Oh, I hated that. I really did hate that. Okay, the other characters. Lysander's storyline was so interesting to me because of Cassius, I think. And spoiler alert, obviously, with Cassius dying, it became a little less interesting. But I'm also like interested to see where he's going because he is an interesting character. Guy, what's his name? The one who kidnapped Pax? I didn't give a fuck. From the bottom of my heart, I did not give a fuck about him. That was really hard for me to read. I do give a fuck about Pax. I think I want more Pax in the next book. I also want way more Mustang. Where the fuck was this bitch at? She was barely in it, and I was so interested in seeing her in such a leadership position, and we barely got any of her, but like it's fine. And then Lyria, I also just like did not give a fuck about. Quite frankly, she was very annoying as a character, but I read a lot of reviews where people loved her down, so maybe I need to be more open-minded, but I didn't fuck with her like that. I think I'm definitely way more interested in the older characters than the newer ones. That's kind of an unpopular opinion because I saw loads of people be like, I'd rather learn about these new characters than have you tell me what happens to the old ones. I'd rather imagine it myself, which I also think is such a valid opinion. But I just didn't feel that way. I couldn't get enough of our original cast of characters. I don't want to read the other books right now. I want nothing less. I am so happy to be done with this. You have no idea. I'm rating it 3 stars because it was still a good book. I just felt so frustrated, but it's like, if every character in the book is miserable, of course you're also going to be left feeling a little bit miserable. Like, I don't fault the book for it. I don't think it's a bad book because it's doing what it's supposed to do. I don't know, like, I'm really interested in where the story's going, but once again more so on like Darrow's part and Matt and Pax, and like not really the other characters that much. I did like how the characters' plots kind of intertwined, and I generally think that the first 70% of the book were boring to me and then the last 30 were really interesting. Like, it got good towards the end, so I'm not gonna give it like 2 stars or anything. It was just so much reading that was just like, I had to force myself to do it. Especially in comparison to the first 3 books, I rated them all 5 stars. This was like a real disappointment for me, like a bit of a letdown. I think this one felt a lot more Star Wars-y, where there was just like so much lore being dropped that I think it felt a bit overwhelming at one point as well, with all the new characters and all their backstories and like all these old characters getting mentioned, and you're kind of just like, who's who, what is what? I think that was also a little bit overwhelming at times. I'm just being honest, don't shoot the messenger. Okay, I'm going to read a thriller next, I think. I need something else entirely. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This took me so long to film, and I will definitely update you guys on the last 2 books once I get to them. This was a roller coaster of emotions. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next week, hopefully, if all goes well. All right, bye, love.